Welcome back, all our 40K fanatics out there. I'm DJ.
And I'm Lane.
And we are back. A little raspy, but we are
back.
With our probably both of our favorite armies. I will be bringing the brand new, clean and clear and under control Necrons detachment that I will be calling Doom and Gloom for Doom Scythes and Gloom Prism. And Lane, well, you know,
guys, I'm playing the DeathWatch. The DeathWatch are back.
Say it again. Say it again.
The DeathWatch have returned. Now, listen, GW is the ones who took it away from us, but they did give it back to us, so we can be happy. We can be happy the DeathWatch are back, and I think they're pretty decent. We're going to find out today, but I think they're pretty solid.
I mean, mind you, the DeathWatch never really left. You could still play them. You had them out of Imperial Agents. Okay, I'm just going to take that look and move right on.
Nope.
Guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do. Turn on the bell to get notified of all the content we're bringing here on the channel, including a lot of reviews that we're going to be doing. Lane did a more detailed army review talking about his Deathwatch. Mine, after this game, I'm going to be doing a detachment review, something new I want to try. I want to play the army first and then see how it feels. And then, man, we got some more detachments coming out here soon. Yep. With taping this video right now, we're looking at Grey Knights tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Some interesting thing with Imperial Knights. I'm not a fan of that AdMech Imperial Knight. I wish it would have went the other way. You know, just Imperial AdMech with an Imperial Knight, because, well, I don't have that many Imperial Knights. But definitely some interesting detachments. Really looking forward to that Imperial Agent one. Those assassins look mean.
It seems like a lot of points sunk into those assassins.
It is a ton of points.
But, yeah, it'll be fun to try out, kill a few characters, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give you plenty of characters to go after.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Well, everyone's here to see some new armies, some new detachments, some new stuff. So let's kick it off with Lane's Deathwatch. Lane, what do you got?
All right. As DJ said, I did a separate army video where I go through the whole army and talk about the rules and the special abilities and kind of talk about the new index in general. But this is just a breakdown. I think it's 2,000 points, guys, but I had to do it all on paper because I don't have it in the app yet. We do have way too many characters. I've always got too many characters. But we have 2 Watchmasters. We have 1 Gravis Captain who does have the Thief of Secrets. We have a Terminator Chaplain. We have a Jump Captain who's got the Tome of Ectoclades. I've got a Lieutenant who's got the Beacon Angelus. And then we've got 1 Combi Lieutenant. We have 2 5-mans of the Deathwatch veterans. We do have a 10-man of the Indomitor kill team, the Gravis Armor one. We've got a 10-man of the Fortis kill team, which is the regular Intercessor one. We have a 10-man of the new Talon Strike kill team, which is the Jump Pack guys. With Plasma Inceptors, we do have a 5-man of Deathwatch Terminators that have the Cyclone Missiles and 2 guys with Thunderhammer Storm Shields. And then we've got a Rhino to carry around the Deathwatch vets, and we've got 2 ATVs to hopefully score me a few points somewhere. DJ, what are you playing today?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, let's get ready to Necron. We have the Star Shatter Arsenal, which is the new detachment out of Necrons, which gives all vehicles and mounted units assault to all of their ranged weapons, as well as when they target a unit in range of an objective marker, they get +1 to hit. So we're bringing a ton of vehicles and a ton of mounted, nothing but. Starting off, we have 2 of the Doomsday arcs. One of them is going to be a Ghost arc, which I'm working on creating a cannon for that I can just kind of put on, swap in, swap out. And then the other one is a refurb that I built this weekend, and we got a little more work to do. So, mind you, it is a little ugly, but, you know, I did some good conversion work on it, so forgive me for that. Next up, we have the Catacomb Command Barge with the enhancement to give us reroll hits and wound rolls of 1 within 6 inches. 2 Annihilation Barges, 6 Spiders, 2 mans, 3 squads, of course, their vehicles, gotta bring them. 6 of the Locust Destroyers, led by a Locust Lord. 3 Locust Heavy Destroyers. 2 of the 6-mans of the Tomb Blades. And last, and kind of least, is just 2 Locust Destroyers as a unit. In my army video, I talked about it that I wasn't sure, and I kind of mulled it over a bit, and then I decided to switch back over to it. It's weird. A single Locust Destroyer is 35 points for 1. Mm-hmm. But if you take 2, it's 60 points. So you get a discount for that.
They're trying to reduce the number of like one model, like 30-point models that could go out and
I
do
get it. But something that we noticed when I was playing these units before, it's weird because, like, yeah, that single lone Locust Destroyer is nice for secondaries and stuff like that. But taking the second one, just having the second one there, makes it just obnoxiously more durable to finish off secondaries and do stuff like engage on all fronts and things like that. So I do really, it was a back and forth, and I looked at how much secondary stuff I have, and I figured I can combine them safely, you know. But this, for both of us, is going to be a test game. We have theories, but we have no idea what to expect. Some things that we thought looked awesome could end up completely failing. Some things that don't look so good on paper, as we start putting the stratagems together, we could have another Castle and Robot incident where we go, oh, that's how that works. Back when I was running the Cybernetic cohort, I had no idea what it was doing, what was working, and I was like, I play this stratagem, and then I target this, and then I do this, and it just slowly spun up. I'm like, oh, that's why that does it. Because it was like one of the +1 to hit, but increase your ballistic skill type things. That it's like, oh, wait, that doesn't. Those are the different things. Now, I know there's one unit in your army that is just absolutely going to hit something and completely obliterate it off the table, and it terrifies me, and that is your jumpy dudes.
Yeah, jumpy dudes. We got a new, not only do we get our whole index back, but we got the new kill team, the Talon Strike guys. Yeah, they're just, hey, you know what? Plasma Inceptors, but we'll just give them extra AP when they deep strike. And then we'll also give them a strat where they can uppy downy every turn. So just a higher AP Plasma Inceptors. I'm here for it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I have a lot of, this is a total Necron gun line. I almost feel like I'm playing Tau. A lot of ways to move away as long as you don't completely obliterate a squad. And it's like, it's that back and forth. It's like, okay, you don't have as much MSU, but then I have things with blast that can take advantage of that. So it's going to be real interesting to see how some of these weapons perform. And I'm definitely interested to see how the Tomb Blades do. This is going to be a big time for them to shine. We've seen Tomb Blades in 3-man squads just because of their speed. I'm running them as 6-mans. I feel like I can actually get some damage output out of them today. All right, Lane, are you ready to bring the DeathWatch back?
I'm so ready.
Odd or even?
Even.
Oh, and with the triumphant, that isn't even. Do you wish to, well, first and foremost, the important question to ask before making this determination, Lane, what should you ask me first?
Do you have any infiltrators?
Always important question to ask to make sure to see where it goes. No, I have no units that are infiltrating. I have 2 units that can scout move.
Okay. I'll have you drop first then.
All right. We'll be back after deployment. All right. We are deployed. Lane, tell us what we are doing here today.
We are playing the glorious game of Warhammer 40,000. Our deployment today is Crucible of Battle. So we got the corners. We are playing, our mission rule is adapt or die. We're both playing tactical, I believe. So twice per game, we can just swap out one of our secondary cards. So it should be a high-scoring game today. And then our primary mission is Purge the Foe. Kill one, kill more, hold one, hold more.
Yeah, we kind of picked the cards into this, pulled away from the random. Lane and I have been discussing it. I think we're going to start to pick what we see more in tournaments and go less random. Just because sometimes the mission rule messes with the primary and it just doesn't turn into that fun of a game. And we've noticed that it seems like GTs and tournaments do a better job of pairing those things together well. So we're going to do the same. For deployment, for the Necrons, well, we got a parking lot. We do have a strat that allows us to just move through walls so that we can Kool-Aid man some spiders and stuff. And we got the Doomsday Arcs in position to draw firing lanes as we see fit. Lane is kind of sitting at 24-inch range for basically most of his army. So I'm not really too worried about him getting into lanes and shooting at me. The only real concern I have is the DeathWatch kill teams that could rocket themselves out of the vehicle into me on turn 1 per he goes first. But I kind of positioned to not give him too much. I'm using the Annihilation Barges to kind of block. So those would be the things that he would hit first. And then we also have our Tomb Blades with the scout moves that can always move and kind of get in the way just to protect the Doomsday Arcs. Not too worried if they get charged or get tagged because I know they'll live, but I want to make sure that they're able to shoot, because those things with their blast weaponry can really just pick up majority of Lane's Marines. There's really, when they hit, and that's it. Catacomb Command Barge is ready to start buffing, and then we have some Locust Heavies back here. In reserve, I have Locust Destroyers with the Locust Lord, as well as the 2-man Locust Squad to, well, do some secondaries late in the game. Lane, what do you got?
Doesn't feel like I have a lot on the table, because I don't. We got 2 kill teams hiding back here. I do have the uppy downy strats, so we will be able to move them into a better position later on. Inside this Rhino, I have 2 5-mans of the DeathWatch veterans, each one led by a Watchmaster. We have an ATV ready to go forth and score a couple points. We have the Lieutenant with combi weapon ready to go out in the middle, and then 1 more ATV over there. In Deep Strike, I do have the 5-man DeathWatch Terminators, and then we have the 10-man Fortis kill team.
So in this mission, what are you looking? Going first or second?
Second, so I can uppy downy.
Fair. I'd like to go first just so I can get a little bit of better positioning on it. I know that up-down is going to be vicious, but honestly, if I go first, there's really isn't much I can do about that. So, all right, let's let the dice decide. Oh, looks like you get your wish. I will be going first. And I have some scout moves. Do you have a scout move as well?
Nope.
No, he just infiltrates.
Yep.
So I do have a scout move. I will just talk about that at the beginning of my turn, because I'm going to think about that for a minute. And then that's going to be it. Lane, it is time to play the game. All right, so for the first turn, I already used one of my 2 shuffle outs. I dropped Established Lucas for Recover Assets, was what I picked up. And we also have Assassinate. So, typically, we really can't kill a character on turn 1. We're going to try. So, we brought up the Annihilation Barge. Advance with it because it has Assault. Brought up the Tomb Blades. And we're going to shoot and try and make him go away for 5 points for Assassinate. Then over here, we positioned the Tomb Blades to take some shots and just try and weaken this ATV, and then use their Fire and Fade. So those are the only real shots right now. Everything else is hidden, so I can't really shoot anything. So everything else just kind of positioned and zoned out a bit to try to prevent the... try and make it so the Plasma Inceptors have to go into a bad position to shoot at something, but I don't know what Lane's thinking, where he's going to go to it, so we'll have to see. But first, we get to do some shooting. Well, let's see. So we did some damage. These guys were able to put 3 wounds onto Mr. ATV. So we did a little damage and then scooted back onto the objective. Over here, some may notice that the Tomb Blades did not move. That is because the Annihilation Barge, I shot with it first, and I was surprised. It picked up the Lieutenant all by itself. So... sorry, Tomb Blades.
They don't have a target to shoot at, so they can't move, shoot, move.
Yeah, that's not good. On the positive, we did get Assassinate. We have 2 solid Recover Asset units, so we probably will score that. So it'll be a good turn on secondaries. Didn't have to spend any CP. And we'll kick it over to Lane in his turn 1.
This turn, I picked up Bring It Down and Area Denial. So I'm going to try real hard to deny this here area.
And what did you do at the end of my turn?
Oh, yeah. I used the Captain ability to uppy downy the Talon Strike Squad.
Well, the Captain made it free.
Captain made it free. And also the Indomitor Squad. So we uppy downied. With Bring It Down, I'm not going to pop this guy, but I'm going to put a little hurt on him, see if I can do a little bit of damage. Depends on how DJ rolls his 4 pinballs. But we're really trying to clean out the middle here, so we got both of these DeathWatch kill teams going to come up here in the middle. The DeathWatch veterans, led by Watchmasters. See if we can wreck these 2 units. And then...
see if we can.
Talon Strike going to go in here and see if we can shred these Tomb Blades.
I like how Lane says, see if we can.
This guy's got a 4-up pinball, and I don't like that. So,
want to see a magic trick? Now you see him. Time for Lane's shooting phase.
I'm not going to shoot them because then they move away from me.
Okay. Those ones,
them.
yes. Those ones, yes.
These guys, they're my oath target. They're stealth. So
yeah. So that's going to be the magic trick.
Yeah. So let's do a little shooting. So for shooting, we started off going here into the Tomb Blades. Yeah, true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just to make sure I actually did overcharge the plasma pistols on the jump intercessors and the captain. That gets them up to 2 damage, and they did pick up 2 with just the plasma pistols, and then the rest of the Inceptors did wreck them pretty handily. I did pop my once per game sustained for this turn. I just did that because I knew I was going after the Tomb Blade units. I just wanted to make sure I got the volume to pick up all those guys. And they do have stealth, but we did pretty handily pick them up with the Talon Strike squad here. Next, Watchmaster uses once per battle round free ability to throw grenades, and we did scrape 4 wounds off of this barge here, so that was a pretty good grenade. Did 5 mortals on the grenade throw, and then he saved 1 of them from the spiders here. Now, not shooting anything here, because if I shoot either of these units, he can spend a CP and counter move away from me. I would like to kill them, so I'm going to keep them there so I can charge into them. The big news here, though, the Indomitor kill team lined up here on the Annihilation barge. Nope.
Doomsday Arc.
Doomsday Arc. I fired with the Meltas. Now, I did not have him oathed. I missed with all the Melta shots. However, as you can see, there is no Annihilation, no Doomsday Arc. Because, and remember I talked in my video, the bolters on these guys, there's 2 heavy bolters that are flat 3 damage, and there's 2 regular bolters that are flat 2 damage. I just got a lot of lethals, got a lot of wounds because they're wounding on 5s because they go up to strength 7 because it was the nearest eligible target. And DJ just failed enough saves for me through the bolters, and then the aggressors, twin bolters. Once they go up to strength 6 and they're twin linked, they got consistent number of shots through, and we were able to pick up the Doomsday Arc without the Meltas, with just the bolter fire from the Indomitors. So Indomitors did pretty well there, also considering it's not oath the moment. So now it's just time to charge. It's time to charge and punch and slap, and we're going to see if we can just mess some things up here in the middle. We came here to bonk, and bonk we did. Hey guys, DeathWatch are back. I don't know if you've heard about this, but DeathWatch are back. Watchmasters, it turns out, are pretty good. We did pick up the remainder of the Annihilation Barge. It did take everything we had in this unit. The Watchmaster only got 2 wounds, and we only got 2 wounds with the Thunder Hammers, but they did get through. So I'm glad I threw the grenades. If I hadn't thrown the grenades before, I probably would not have picked them up. And then the Watchmaster alone picked up this squad of Tomb Blades here. He did roll 3 6s on attack, so he got 9 hits, and that was enough to wreck all the Tomb Blades. The rest of the DeathWatch guys were just applauding, clapping. So, DeathWatch did a little damage here. Now, of course, we're exposed out in the middle of the table. We're going to get some retribution thrown back at us here. But, that's it. So, good destruction. Scored 4 points for Bring It Down, because I did bring down 2 vehicles. And then area denial for 5. So on to DJ.
All right, into my turn. I got overwhelming force and containment. So there's a unit we're going to try and slaughter on an objective. I get it.
2 units.
2 units. Yeah, I was about to say, I get it for just taking out the unit, don't I?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I don't even need to fully kill the Watchmaster, but we're still going to try.
Overwhelming force is 3 points for 1 and 5 points for 2. So if you get the character and them, you get 5 points.
Excellent. We brought in the Locust over here. We got Overwatch and lost 2. Popped the Resorb and got 1 back. So we're going to try and make them pay. Make them pay for their insolence. Move the spiders out. No strats or anything here. We had our exit point here because we treat these little runes, these broken runes, as the ability to move through. We do it kind of in the GW terrain sense.
Less than 2 inches.
Right. So we moved them. So they moved over. These guys moved around, and they're getting situated. So we're in charge range, because the Watchmaster would have to be the last to be removed. So we can charge with those spiders. Those guys are on objective. +1 to hit. Should be some good damage. Then over here, we got another squad of spiders in position to shoot at this squad and try and hurt these kill teams that are out there. And then this thing over here, I'm going to be putting some of my heavier hurt onto it. We're going to put the Doomsday Arc and 3 Locust Heavies. So we're really going to hope that we get some damage through here, because I need the damage to hit. So, all right, let's shoot and hope that a lot less of those guys are there. All right, shooting-wise, our big guns were not quite as successful, but we did some work in center. So over here, the Destroyers, they shot, and for their damage, they only picked up the intercessors.
Jump intercessors.
Now, this does mean that Lane, when he rolls his hazardous, is going to have to take some of his big chunky boys. So there's that. But not a good situation. I got a 10-inch charge possibility, so I'm going to try it. I'll probably fail it. Not going to spend a CP to make it happen. But if we do stick it, at least we can try and keep these guys on the board so they don't get out their seat and jump around. Over here with the spiders, we cleared out some of these kill teams that are fighting. So this one we got down to a Watchmaster and a dude. This one's down to a Watchmaster and 2 dudes. So we're going to be able to make some charges and take advantage of the fact that they're on objectives and finish those off. We'll bring both the spiders in over there. Then over here, we drop this squad down to about half its size with its character still alive, but not quite the efficient damage. Armor, Contempt, and Cover slowed it down a little bit, but my big guns, the high damage ones, were able to get through and pick up some of them. So we did do some damage. Hopefully it'll be enough now to kind of give me some defense. Like one of the things I mentioned in my army video is how strong I believe some of these strats that I have defensively will be later into the game. So now it's just time to do some charges and see if we can pick anything up. So the spiders stay reliable. Charged in. We spent a command point. Lane was courteous to remind me that I don't need to go +1 to wound when you're double strength against Marines. You're already wounding on 2s. Don't waste the command points. So instead I chose the tank shock over here just to remove the guy with 1 wound left to make Lane's, if he decided to interrupt, make it a little less valuable. And then we attacked over here first, +1 to hit, because we're fighting on objective. Took all the Marines off, leaving just the Watchmaster over here, and then the last spiders finished off the Watchmaster. Barely, got scary. And then over here, these guys did it with work. They just took out the last Watchmaster. So right now we have 4 units destroyed for the turn. We did get 5 for overwhelming force and 6 for containment. So, because I don't know if I mentioned it, I contained with the Annihilation Barge over here. I contained with this small little Locust unit that I brought in over here. So, good turn of secondaries. Let's see what Lane does. He still has some stuff. He's got 2 units in Deep Strike still, so there's more DeathWatch to come.
So this time I've got no prisoners and behind enemy lines. I didn't have marked for death, but I decided to pitch that one because I had used the mission special rule today. Pitch that one for free. I did pop off my lethals for this turn, and I did my Tome of Ectoclade, so we oath these spiders. And these guys overwatched my Inceptors, the Talon Strike Squad, because they reroll all hits, and they have lethals, and they have AP 2 damage, and they ignore cover. They did pick up 3 of my Plasma Inceptors, which really got me into a bad spot there.
Yay.
So now they have to die.
No.
The Fortis kill team came in here. They have Deep Strike because of the Beacon Angelus on the Lieutenant.
Ooh.
And then the Terminators came in here to score me behind enemy lines and shoot this way or make a charge here or do something. And then the Indomitors here just scooched over so we can make a charge of this command barge and punch it in its big, dumb command barge face.
Hey,
we'll
it's
do a little
not
shooting.
a command barge. That's an annihilation.
Yeah, we'll barge thing. All right, I'm going to do a little shooting. All right, shooting didn't do a whole lot. I did scrape these guys down a little bit. They're so strong. I do not like them. Use the Terminators over here to kill 1 or 2. Plasma guys killed a couple. The Melta on the ATP killed 1. DJ did do his counter move thing, so he did move into me there, or move closer to me. But
and tried to get away. I didn't want extra shots coming in from those guys.
So the Fortis kill team shot all their crazy. There's so many different guns in this unit. They shot them all into here, and we did pick up the 2-man spider squad. So that's fewer spiders.
That's a profile.
Scraped a couple wounds off of this barge. So now we're going to charge in with the Gravis boys and hopefully do some work there. And then, really just trying to scrape these guys off. Hope maybe the Terminators will get a long, cheeky charge. They do reroll their charges, so maybe they'll get that 9-incher. But, let's do a little charging. All right, so the captain with his Thief of Secrets managed to punch out this command barge, so then that powers him up now, so he's super strong. And then we won.
What do you mean super strong?
I mean that's when his unit charges, his power fist will be strength 12, AP 4, flat 4 damage. That's what I mean. We didn't pick up the character here, so he lived. And he bonked back, but only did 2 damage to one of those scepters. So
I spent the command point to go -1 to wound, and it did not matter. Lane rolled all 4s for his damage, so it didn't matter in that section. Just want to throw that out there.
Yep. So DJ did get kill more. He got 4 unit kills this turn. I got 3 unit kills. If I had finished that guy off, it would have tied him up. He's going to get a whole more. I did score 5 for no prisoners and 3 for behind enemy lines. Well, that's that. On to DJ.
All right, so this is a good turn to get no prisoners, but Lane's got some really, really thick units on the table, so it's going to be tough for me to get no prisoners. This is a good one for me to try to hit, but not very much in range. I got the spiders that could go over here, and these locusts that I moved up the last two, so hopefully we can at least pick up the squad. That'd be nice. Definitely not picking up the character. We failed the battle shock with the Locust Lord, but we did manage to Desperate Breakout and get him away, because otherwise he's just going to get punched in his beautiful Necron face, and I would rather that not happen. Otherwise, we just kind of wiggled. These guys moved over here. They just kind of wiggled, so they're still in position to shoot here or go at these guys, whichever I choose. They stayed put, so I didn't get overwatched, and they're going to shoot over here with the combined joint effort from the Doomsday Arc. And then we moved the Catacomb and the Heavy Destroyers to try and take out some of these Terminators. I know I won't take out the whole squad, but I definitely need to get some damage around them. It'd be really nice if the Locusts could just, pick 3 of them up. That'd be great. All right. Oh, and then my other secondary is Secure No Man's Land, so I could always just elect to not charge with these guys. These guys are in a solid position too. They hold that, so I got the Secure whichever way I decide to do it. All right, let's shoot. So shooting-wise, we haven't picked up a unit yet, but we did some good damage. Over here, the Locust Heavies were able to pick up 2 Terminators, and the Catacomb damaged another. So we'll probably charge with the Catacomb in there and see if he can't hit and try and pick up some dudes, mostly keeping them on the table. Over here, the Doomsday Arc picked up 3, I believe, of the Gravis guys. And then
picked up 2, and the spiders picked up 2.
Picked up 2 of the spiders, thank you. And then the spiders shot back, and they picked up some as well. So they're definitely going to charge in there now that squad's weakened up. So they're not going to... I mean, there's still some 2 damage in there and stuff like that. That's scary, but Lane's on 1 CP, so hopefully that'll matter. I did shoot with the Locust over here, picked up the 1 dude that was probably in range, so I couldn't shoot with the other squad of spiders in here. So instead, the spider shot over here, picking up 3.5 guys. Still a very strong amount of shooting that's coming out of there. I knew I wasn't going to be able to really answer them, but at least they're weakened up. And yeah, so now we're going to do some charges to try to get some unit kills for no prisoners and for the mission. Well, that did not exactly go according to plan. So we charged, and we tank shock with the Catacomb Command Barge, which was able to pick up 1 of the Terminators, even through the 4-up Feel No Pain that the unit has versus Mortal Wounds. And then in damage, I think we got 1 more. So we were able to get the Terminator squad down to 3. I think. And then over here, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Not at all. I'm not going to say a word.
Yeah, so the captain has the Thief of Secrets, and he's powered up to flat 4 damage on his 5 Power Fist attacks and his 2 extra Power Sword attacks. So between the aggressor and the captain, they were able to finish off the spiders. Flat 4 damage is a glorious thing.
1 aggressor. I did damage to him. He's down to 1 wound. But I still got Secure No Man's Land. I haven't taken out a unit yet. I kept no prisoners instead of pitching it because a lot of units are beaten up. So hopefully in the next turn, I can do some damage to them. Yeah, that's going to be it. Let's kick it back over to Lane and his turn 3.
So I've got Containment and Overwhelming Force. I did pull Recover Assets, but I just don't have enough units to go do that kind of stuff. So we're containing. This ATV is going to contain because these guys failed their Battle Shock. This ATV is going to contain because these guys failed their Battle Shock. The Inceptors failed, but the Talonstrike failed, but the ATV is going to do it. These guys scooched up here. Really, we're just going to try to overwhelm some forces, so at least kill these 2 units. Maybe we'll put some hurt on these spider bugs here. And, yeah, that's that. I'll do a little bit of shooting. So shooting, the Fortis, there's just a lot of different weapon profiles in here. Did a lot of damage to the spiders, but killed 1, got 1 down to 2 wounds. And then the Hunter-Killer finished it off from the Rhino. Got the hit, got the wound, went through. He only had 2 wounds left. I rolled 6 on the damage. DJ managed to roll 4 6s on his Feel No Pains, so it killed him down to the wound. But yeah, he's dead, so we picked up that squad there. That's it. Got this guy down to 1 wound from the Inceptor shooting, but that's all we could do. So that's it. We're going to do a couple charges. Fight phase was successful. Inceptor is led by the captain here. I'm sorry, the Talon Strike force led by the captain picked up that character there. These guys, because we had a power fist on the sergeant and the lieutenant's power sword, were able to pick up those 2 destroyers. Of course, we did pick up the spiders and shooting here. DJ's, that's a command barge?
That is a command barge.
That was a command barge. Yeah, he got the fight first here. Got 4 wounds, but I made all 4 of my 4-up inbones, and then we just punched back and picked him right up. So pretty definitive bit of damage here from the DeathWatch, leaving DJ with 2 units left on the table. All right, yep. All right, that's it for my turn. I did score overwhelming force and containment, so on we go.
All right, for my turn 4, is it? Yeah.
That was your turn 4.
This is my turn 4. We did the whole thing because I have 2 units left. Still 2 impactful units, though. So we had Defend Stronghold and the no prisoners that we held on to. So we moved the Doomsday Ark over here, got on this objective, poured everything in there, and finished off the Gravis unit. So that gave us 4 points for no prisoners. Over here, we did stick and land all 3 shots into these guys, but Lane also stick 2 invulns, so we only were able to take 1 unit guy down. So there's 2 left over here. So right now, it's about the Defend Stronghold portion of it, so we do hold this temporarily, and we'll go from there. So, yeah, we have 2 unit kills so far. Over to Lane.
Just couldn't do it, guys. Couldn't kill these guys. I shot into them a bunch and punched them a bunch and did nothing, even though they're my oath target. So I got both Vengor and a Super Crack shooting into these guys, and then the Cyclones from these Terminators shooting into them. Couldn't do anything. Charged them in combat, punched them a bunch, didn't do, took 1 wound off from a Stormbolter.
Spent a command point for shooting to reduce the -1 to wound, which actually helped in that scenario. Combat, they just tanked.
Yeah, I just whiffed everything. So anyways, that means DJ scores his Defend Stronghold. I failed to score Storm Hostile Objective, and it's on to DJ's turn.
So for my last turn, looking at Call the Horde and Behind Enemy Lines. Use my last shuffle out to shuffle out Storm Hostile Objectives because I really did not. There's no way for me to flip the objectives. I could not get to these objectives to actually flip them, and I still controlled my home field. So Call the Horde and Behind Enemy Lines, we measured it out. I was not able to get the Doomsday Ark. Even on the Auto Advance 6, I could not get into his deployment zone for the 3. So instead we went for Cull because it turned out these homeboys were actually targetable and were 25 wounds. So we advanced the Doomsday Ark, used the go through wall strat, and blasted at them. Almost took the captain down too, but most importantly, we took out the squad to score Call the Horde. Over here, we did lose 1 Locust Heavy Destroyer, but we're still alive on that objective for now. So we've destroyed 1 unit for this turn, and we'll kick it back over to Lane and his final turn 5.
So for my final turn, I kept Storm Hostile Objective from the previous turn. I had Defend Stronghold is what I pulled. So I was able to defend, of course. We just did some spite damage to the thing. The Slate DJ, I don't remember what they're called. The
Doomsday Ark.
Doomsday Ark. Did some spite damage to him. I got him down to 6 wounds, but was able to get the jump captain that survived over into here, and were able to finish off of these destroyers. So I was able to storm a hostile objective. I did hold more at the end of this turn. Kind of held back on my kill mores because I killed too many in one big turn. So an incredibly close game with the return of the DeathWatch, almost victorious, because it turns out that the Necrons scored a 90 while the DeathWatch scored an 89. Super close game, good high scoring game, very bloody game. As you can see, we've got 1 Doomsday Ark here left with 6 wounds. That's it for the Necrons.
Even lost a little gauze player in the
process. Lost some bits. And
while he's over here, I spent a command point and I was able to pivot and move to get on this objective, hoping that if my Locust lived, I was like, hey, cool. I hold 2 objectives, you hold 2 objectives, hooray. But that captain said, no, you're going away.
Nope. So Yeah, really good game. Glad the DeathWatch are back. They need to have a victory, though. We need to do a little bit more damage next time. But follow us over to the post-game chat where we'll talk about how things went, and see you there.